Welcome back to Math 107 College Algebra. In this video, we're going to take a look at solving a system of equations using the elimination method. So I give you the system of equations x plus 6y plus 3z is equal to 4. 2x plus y plus 2z is equal to 3. And 3x or minus 2y plus z is equal to 0. So elimination method is just like how it sounds. We're wanting to eliminate variables here. So what we're going to do is take the first equation, leave it as is, but we're going to add multiples of it to the other two equations to get rid of x. So what I'll do in the next step is I will leave that x plus 6y plus 3z. Actually, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that first equation by 2, just to make what I'm doing down the road a little bit more clear. As a matter of fact, I'll even multiply by negative 2. So I'm multiplying both sides of the equation by negative 2, so I get negative 2x minus 12y minus 6z is equal to negative 8. And 2x plus y plus 2z equals 3. And nothing changes on the third equation. So now in the next step, I'm going to add the first two equations together and make that my new second equation. So the first equation stays the same. And the second equation is just the sum of the first two. So I have negative 11y minus 4z is equal to negative 5. And then the third equation I'm going to leave as is for now. So now, I'm going to go ahead and divide that first equation by 2 just to make my life a little bit easier. So I have minus x minus 6y minus 3z equals negative 4. Coincidentally, that is exactly the same as negative 1 times the original equation. Then I still keep the same second equation. And my third equation now is going to be, or remain, 3x minus 2y plus z is equal to 0. So now again, I'm doing some stuff for clarity here. I'm going to multiply the first equation by 3. So both sides by 3. So I have minus 3x minus 18y minus 9z equals negative 12. Last two equations stay the same. And now I'm going to add the first and third equations together and make that my third equation. And we'll also in this step go ahead and divide both sides of the first equation by -3, just to take it back to my original statement. So I get this system of equations now. And now I'm actually going to divide both sides of that third equation by -2. And come over here where I have more room to work, so I have x plus 6y plus 3z equals 4, minus 11y minus 4z is equal to -5. And like I said, I'm dividing the third equation by -2. Both sides of that, so I get 10y plus 4z equals 6. Now the textbook is going to insist you have to eliminate y from one of the equations, but there's really no reason you have to do that so long as you eliminate a variable. So in this case, I'm eliminating z. So I'm going to do that by adding the second equation to the third equation. I'm going to make that my new third equation. So I have x plus 6y plus 3z equals 4. And my second equation will remain -y, or -11y minus 4z equals -5. Then the third equation is just adding the first two equations together. So I get -y equals 1. So now in the next step I can say y equals 1, or y equals -1. And now it's a matter of back substitution. Let me write a better -1 there. And now we could redo the elimination method to get all the other variables by themselves. There's no need to do that. We can at this point go ahead and use what's known as back substitution. So I'm going to plug the -1 in for y in the second equation. So that gives me 11, or -11 times -1, which is +11, minus 4z is equal to -5. Subtract 11 from both sides, so I get minus 4z is equal to minus 16. Then divide both sides by -4. Z is equal to 4. Then the final step, as I'm running out of space here, so I have x minus 6, or plus 6 times -1, plus 3 times 4, which is 12, is equal to 4. So simplifying that, I get x plus 6 equals 4. I subtract 6 from both sides, I get x equals -2. So I would state that my solution to this equation, or system of equations, is the point -2, -1, 4. So that's how we solve a system of equations using the elimination method. In the next section of the next video, we're going to take a look at how I can write that a little bit more compactly. So I will see you for sure in class on Monday.